Barry wants to find the height of a tree that is modeled in the diagram below, where angle C was a right angle. The angle of elevation from point A on the ground to the top of the tree H is 40 degrees. The angle of elevation from point B on the ground to the top of the tree H is 80 degrees. The distance between points A and B is 85 feet. Barry claims that triangle ABH is isosceles. Explain why Barry is correct. Okay, so first of all, you have to understand that an isosceles triangle has two equal sides, two equal angles. Now, in this current triangle, we don't really have two equal sides yet. So the easiest way to show that this is an isosceles triangle is to deal with the angles, since I have a lot of angles going on here. So let's start with here. So we have 40 degrees, okay, and we have 80 degrees here. Notice that these two angles are sitting on a straight line. They're a linear pair, and they're supplementary. So let me throw in that vocabulary word down, supplementary. So these two angles add up to 180. So 180 minus 80 is 100. So I put 100 here. Make sure you're showing all work. Now also we know that by the rule triangle sum, all the angles in a triangle add up to 180. So we have 40 plus 100, which is 140, and 180 minus 140, which is 40. So this angle here is 40. I could also have used the exterior angle theorem, which means that the two remote interior angles add up to that exterior angle. So if you notice here, now we have just proved that these two angles are congruent. And so let's just write down what we figured out. So we figured out that measure of angle ABH was 100 degrees, and measure of angle BHA equals 40 degrees. And I have all my work and vocabulary words to support my information. So ABH 100 degrees, angle BHA 40 degrees, and I'm going to say triangle ABH is isosceles because two equal angles, and that's angle BAH is congruent to angle BHA. So that's BAH and angle BHA. So we're done with that first part of this question. And now what the question is asking us to do is find to the nearest foot the height of the tree. So this is what I ultimately want to find, T for tree. Now, if you look over here, we have this right triangle. I have an angle, and so I can use SOHCAHTOA. That's eventually what we're going to use. But the thing is, we don't have another side. Well, if I look at this triangle here, I have 85. I wonder if I can use this somehow. And well, based on what we just did over here, remember, two equal angles, which means two equal sides. So the side that corresponds to this angle is going to be congruent to the side that corresponds with this angle. So if this side was 85, and so this side is also 85 feet. So let me go ahead and to make this a little bit easier, I'm just going to focus on the little right triangle that we see here on the right side here, and just copy down the important information I have. And so remember, the goal is to find the height of the tree. So I'm going to circle my given angle. First, I'm going to label my hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is across from the 90 degree. Next, I'm going to label adjacent. Adjacent means next to the circled angle. And then finally, I'm going to label opposite, and opposite means across from that circle angle. And so if I look over here, I want to solve for t, so I need this. I have the 85, so I need this. So adjacent is blank, so I don't have anything. I'm not using that. So in which part of the formula in SOHCAHTOA do we see opposite and hypotenuse stuck together? And that would be so, which means it's sine 80 degrees. O for opposite, and here the opposite is T. H for hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse here is 85. Solve for a side over 1, cross multiply. Make sure your calculator is in degree mode. So you press mode, and then you go to degree, press enter a few times, and then press clear. Now, remember, we needed to find sine of 80 degrees. So what I'm going to press is sine 80 degrees. And then when I press that, that's the number I'm going to copy, 0.9848. 0.9848. 0.9848. Typically, I like to copy the whole number and 4 numbers after the decimal. So then I just over 1 equals T over 85. Now we cross multiply. 1 times T is T. And then 0.9848 times 85. And when I got that in a calculator, I got 83.7086. 83.7086, and the question told us to round to the nearest foot, which means the whole number. So the tree is 84 feet tall.